Greetings everyone, my name is Swapnil Gandhi and I will be presenting my work on a new interval-centric model for distributed computation over temporal graphs. This work is in collaboration with my advisor Professor Yogesh Simon at the Indian Institute of Science. Graphs are a natural medium to represent and analyze linked data. For instance, here is a graph that many of us are familiar with, which models user interaction in a popular social network. Similar instances can be found in a vast variety of other domains. A non-exhaustive list of some such domains is shown on the screen. Due to increasing popularity of many social networks and their importance in information retrieval, graph computation problems have been extensively studied in the past decade, and many practical solutions have been implemented in a wide variety of graph processing systems. Interestingly, there is a new emerging class of workload which involves temporal generalization of graphs. As one would expect, travel time along transportation networks may vary depending on the time of the day due to changing traffic density and road closures, and people often gain and sometimes lose followers on social media. Such graphs, commonly known as temporal graphs, show dynamism in their structure and attributes, and like their static counterparts, are found in diverse disciplines, from social networks, transportation and communication networks to molecular biology and epidemiology. For instance, here we show how one such temporal graph can be represented, where each edge and associated attribute have a lifespan indicating their existence information. As you can see from the example, edge connecting vertex A to vertex B is part of graph snapshot corresponding to time point 1, 2 and 3, while edge connecting vertex A to vertex D is only present in graph snapshot corresponding to time point 3. This additional temporal information associated with graph entities gives rise to new analytics. We distinguish such analytical algorithms that extract information from temporal graphs into two types: time-independent and time-dependent algorithms. Time-independent algorithms are ones where we study the evolution of well-known static graph properties such as centrality measure, density, diameter, etc. over time. These typically involve taking a well-known, readily available static graph processing algorithm like BFS or label propagation and repeatedly executing them for each snapshot. Time-dependent algorithms, on the other hand, discover patterns which respect temporal ordering. For temporal ordering, uh, for temporal ordering to be respected, time points uh, for temporal ordering to be respected, time points of edges along the pattern must be non-decreasing. These patterns typically cannot be captured by inspecting snapshots in isolation, but mandate that temporal information be taken into account. Now let's look at an example. Here there are two possible paths from vertex A to vertex C, one via vertex B and other via vertex D. However, only one of them follows temporal ordering, the other one does not. The need to respect such temporal ordering introduces new challenges, and such algorithms are actively being researched upon. Despite increasing interest and availability, there is limited work on programming abstractions and scalable frameworks for computing aforementioned algorithms over temporal graphs. In such a situation, you might think that you can take advantage of existing graph processing systems like Giraffe, GraphX, and GraphLab. While these systems are useful for implementing algorithms over static graphs, they are however not suitable for temporal graph processing, and this is because they lack the capability to effectively avoid redundancy in computation and communication while dealing with similar graphs, which is typically the case for adjacent snapshots in a temporal graph. In addition to poor performance, these abstractions also fail to hide the complexity of ensuring temporal ordering for time-dependent algorithms. So in the end, these systems do not lead to an implementation which is easier to code, and worse, result in implementations which are poorly performed. Alternatively, you can choose to design and implement your own custom algorithm for performing temporal analysis. The typical way to do that is to get a grad student and lock them in a room. Now, assuming that they do a good job, you would end up with an efficient implementation. But it would take them several days or weeks to implement this algorithm from scratch, as they not only have to deal with the complexity of ensuring temporal ordering, but also have to deal with the complexity in distributing and scaling computation. So in the end, this requires a great deal of time and domain expertise. Our objective with this work was to propose a new generalized programming abstraction and execution model that is designed for temporal graph analysis and supports both time independent and dependent algorithms. We achieve this by providing the user with a simple and generic API, which introduces time as a first-class citizen and a highly efficient and distributable execution engine, which avoids redundant computation and communication. In the end, our objective is to make it easy for you, the user, to rapidly implement and execute existing and new algorithms for temporal graph analysis. Before we talk about the interval-centric model, let's look at the vertex-centric model upon which we build this work. Vertex-centric model is a programming paradigm pioneered by Bregel and requires users to think like a vertex. Here, a user writes their program from the perspective of a single vertex. The program, aptly called a vertex program, can send messages to other vertices and modify its state by processing messages it receives from other vertices and using its prior state. Graph computation is executed as a sequence of iterations, which are typically known as supersteps. During each superstep, this program is invoked for all active vertices in a data parallel manner. The supersteps will proceed until there is a global consensus to stop the computation. With that in mind, let us look at the fundamental observation which allows ICM to avoid redundancy in computation and communication for temporal graphs. We observe that to compute state, a vertex program depends only on messages received from other vertices and its prior state. Thus, all vertex program invocations which compute its state by processing equivalent set of received messages and which had identical state at the end of previous superstep return equivalent output and can be considered redundant. Let's look at an example to internalize what I just described. In this example, we would be focusing on vertex B. The algorithm of choice is BFS, with vertex A being the source, and the algorithm is invoked independently on snapshots S1, S2, and S3. We see that across all three snapshots, vertex B receives identical messages from vertex A and invokes vertex-centric program thrice, once per snapshot, to update its state from infinity to 1. Using our observation, we replace these three invocations with a single invocation over interval 1, 4 and thereby avoid two redundant computation calls. Similarly, we observe that messages sent to neighboring vertices are a function of the edge along which the message is sent and the state of source vertex. Thus, redundant messages directed along same outage can be identified and combined into a single interval message. In our example, vertex B shares its modified state with neighboring vertex C in snapshot S1, S2, and S3 by sending one message for each snapshot, which using our observation can be replaced by a single message with interval 1, 4, thus saving two messages. For large graph, this observation enables us to reduce the number of compute calls and messages sent by an order of magnitude and results in substantial performance improvement. Time warp is a data transformation operator that we propose. It operates at the granularity of a vertex and transparently does all the heavy lifting to identify intervals along which computation and communication can be shared using the same observations that we discussed in the previous slide. For people familiar with database concepts, this is similar to an inner join, with the join condition being non-empty intersection of intervals. As seen in the example, it transparently performs temporal alignment, partitioning, replication, and grouping of messages to obtain a minimal number of disjoint intervals along which computation is invoked in a data parallel manner. In addition to avoiding redundancy, time warp also automatically enforces temporal ordering, which is important for time-dependent algorithms. Due to limitation of time, I will not be able to talk about it in depth in this presentation, but I invite you to look into our paper for more details on how ordering is enforced. Next, I would like to briefly describe our generic API for implementing temporal algorithms. Programs in ICM are written from the perspective of an interval and are called interval programs. They comprise of two user-defined functions, compute and scatter, with a third optional user-defined function called init, which is used for initializing vertex state. Compute operates on a vertex in context of an interval and can modify its associated interval state by processing incoming messages and using its prior state. The particular interval in whose context it is invoked and the incoming messages are decided by time warp at runtime. Next, scatter, our second user-defined function, operates on the out edges for a vertex. It also is invoked in context of an interval, which is determined by time warp at runtime, and allows interval messages to be sent to neighboring vertices. Finally, we show how temporal reachability, a time-dependent algorithm presented at ICD 2016 by Wu et al., can be implemented in our framework using only 14 lines of Java code. Our paper describes implementation specifics for 11 other algorithms from literature, and I encourage you to look into our paper for more details. So, regarding the evaluation, we ran Graphite, which is our implementation of ICM on top of Giraffe, on a in-house cluster of 8 machines. In each one of these machines, we have 14 hyperthreads, 60 GBs of RAM, and are interconnected via 1 gigabit Ethernet connection. We implement 12 different algorithms from literature, out of which 4 are time independent and 8 are time dependent. These algorithms can be categorized into 4 distinct types, which are traversal, centrality, clustering, and mining. We compare ICM against 4 contemporary baseline approaches. We implement them over Giraffe to ensure that primitives are the key distinction and not the programming language or engine. 2 of these baselines support time independent algorithms, while the others support time dependent. Graphite, on the other hand, supports both algorithm categories. Additional details on these baselines can be found in the paper. We ran each one of these algorithms with 6 real-world input graphs, which vary in size, number of snapshots, average lifespan, and domain. To give you some perspective, USRN with 58 million edges is the smallest graph in our evaluation, while UK Web Crawl with close to 5.5 billion edges is the largest. Together, the wide variety of algorithms and diverse real-world graphs help us showcase the performance benefits of ICM across many different scenarios. I'll start by talking about performance characteristics of Graphite for TI and TD algorithm across all 6 input graphs, and later present individual results for some of these graphs. Here the table shows the ratio of makespan time for baseline platforms over makespan time for Graphite, and is averaged for TI and TD algorithms. By makespan time, we mean the wall clock time from the first user superstep till the end of last user superstep. From the table, we can see that Graphite substantially outperforms all platforms for most graphs by up to 24 times, and is comparable even for graphs that form the worst case for it. Here, for the left scatter plot, x-axis is the number of compute calls and y-axis is the time spent in seconds servicing them, while for the right scatter plot, x-axis represents the number of messages sent, and y-axis is the time spent in seconds sending them over network. Note that both x and y-axis of these scatter plots are log scale. The high correlation factor across 206 data points in each of these plots ascertain that performance of Graphite and baseline platforms are consistent with the behavior of their primitives and not an artifact of opaque engineering optimizations. In the end, ICM's ability to reduce number of compute calls and messages sent directly translates into performance improvement. Moving on, due to limited time, I would focus my attention on discussing performance characteristics of Graphite for 2 specific graphs. G+, which forms the worst case for Graphite, has unit length edges and provides 0 potential for sharing. In this case, Graphite performs 3 to 17% slower than baselines, as it incurs additional bookkeeping overheads as part of time warp, which in this case yields no benefits. In the end, we expect limited or no performance benefits from Graphite for graphs with unit or small lifespan. Twitter, with an average edge lifespan of 28, offers plenty of opportunity to share computation and communication across time points, which Graphite effectively leverages to reduce the number of compute calls by a factor of 26 and messages sent by a factor of 27. We generally expect Graphite to perform best when edge lifespans are long and overall overlap among edges and snapshots is high. Finally, we would like to answer the question, how well does Graphite scale? Here, x-axis shows the number of machines and y-axis shows the makespan time in seconds for 10 algorithms. Each machine contains approximately 10 million vertices and 100 million edges. And so as the number of machines double, the number of vertices and edges double as well. You can see from the plot that Graphite is able to scale linearly, although the exact slope of scalability depends on the algorithm. In summary, temporal graph algorithms are an emerging class of workload which pose new computational challenges. Existing systems are unable to avoid redundancy and therefore result in poor performance. To the best of our knowledge, Graphite is one of the first unified programming abstractions for distributed computation over temporal graph and outperforms existing platforms by a factor of 25. This brings us to the end of my presentation, and I would be happy to take questions. Additionally, if you're watching this as a video and have questions, you can reach out to me by writing to the email ID on your screen. Thank you.